Abraham Bram Stoker was born on November 8, 1847, in Clontarf, a coastal suburb of Dublin, Ireland. He grew up in a well-to-do family with strong cultural and literary influences. His father, Abraham Stoker Sr., was a civil servant and a local magistrate, and his mother, Charlotte Matilda Blake Thornley, came from a family with literary connections. From an early age, Bram showed a great interest in literature and the arts, traits that would profoundly shape his future. Early life and education. Bram Stoker was a frail child, suffering from an illness that left him bedridden for much of his early childhood. Despite this, he was determined to overcome his physical limitations. This period of confinement allowed him to develop a keen imagination and a love for reading. Stories of adventure, fantasy, and mythology fueled his creative mind, planting seeds that would later flourish in his writing. Stoker was an excellent student and attended Trinity College Dublin, where he studied mathematics and graduated with honours in 1870. At Trinity, he was not just academically gifted but also socially active. He was known for his charm, intelligence, and athletic abilities. He played cricket and was an accomplished athlete, despite his childhood illnesses. Career beginnings. After graduating, Stoker began a career in the civil service. However, his true passion remained literature and the theatre. He started writing short stories and articles, gaining modest recognition in literary circles. In 1876, Stoker married Florence Balcombe, a beauty and a strong-willed woman from a notable Irish family. Their marriage was supportive and lasted throughout his life, with Florence often assisting in his literary work and managing his affairs. Stoker's love for theatre was a defining part of his life. In 1878, he became the business manager of the Lyceum Theatre in London, which was then managed by the famous actor Henry Irving. Stoker's relationship with Irving was more than professional; they became close friends. Stoker's administrative skill and dedication helped Irving transform the Lyceum into one of London's most prestigious theatres. Stoker managed the theatre for nearly 27 years, and his experience in this role gave him unique insights into drama, character development, and the power of atmosphere, all elements that influenced his writing. Writing career. While Stoker worked primarily in theatre management, he continued writing in his spare time. His early works were a mix of Gothic short stories, essays, and historical novels, but none achieved significant fame. It was in 1897 that Bram Stoker published his masterpiece, Dracula. Dracula was groundbreaking and introduced the iconic character of Count Dracula, a vampire who terrorizes Victorian England. The novel combined folklore, horror, romance, and adventure, capturing the fears and anxieties of the late 19th century, including concerns about sexuality, immigration, and the clash between modernity and superstition. The novel was innovative in its use of multiple narrators and diary entries, letters, and newspaper clippings to tell the story. Though Dracula did not achieve instant popularity, it gradually became a classic of Gothic literature and is widely regarded as the definitive vampire novel. Personal life and later years. Stoker's later years were marked by declining health. The death of Henry Irving in 1905 deeply affected him, as Irving had been not only his employer but also his closest friend and mentor. Without Irving, Stoker's role at the Lyceum ended, and his financial situation became more precarious. Despite these challenges, Stoker continued to write, publishing other novels such as The Jewel of Seven Stars and The Lair of the White Worm, both of which contained elements of horror and the supernatural. However, none matched the lasting impact of Dracula. Stoker also contributed to the literary and theatrical community as a critic and promoter of the arts. His knowledge of the theatre and literature made him a respected figure in London's cultural scene. Death and legacy. Bram Stoker died on April 20, 1912, in London, aged 64. His death did not immediately bring widespread recognition, but his work, particularly Dracula, grew in prominence throughout the 20th century and remains influential today. Dracula has been adapted into countless films, plays, television series, and other media, solidifying Stoker's place in popular culture. The novel's themes of fear, seduction, and the supernatural continue to resonate with audiences around the world. Bram Stoker's legacy is that of a man who, through imagination and perseverance, created one of the most enduring characters in literary history. His work helped define the vampire mythos and shaped the modern horror genre. Beyond Dracula, his life story reflects the rich cultural tapestry of Victorian and Edwardian England and Ireland, where the interplay of tradition and innovation inspired a unique literary voice.